My screen is visible to you all.
Yes, ma'am.
So in last class, we have done certain introductory portion, and then I have taken up the topic of perception. And in this class, I will be taking one case study that is related to managerial roles that I have discussed in the last class. Assuming that some of you have not joined my last class, so I'm giving you a brief about managerial roles, and then I will start with the case study. After this particular topic, I will be discussing the challenges in the environment of OB, and then I will be starting with the next topic, that is personality. So this is the roadmap for today's class. So managerial roles. So I hope when you are joining an MBA program, you all intend to become a manager. So we have heard too much about manager. We know that manager is supposed to complete certain tasks. He needs to get the work done through others, right? So there are so many things that we listen throughout that this is what a manager is supposed to do. So likewise, there are certain theories which define the managerial roles. That if you become manager, what you are expected to do. In 1960, Mintzberg defined managerial roles. So how he defined these roles was he used the technique of observation, right? So he observed different successful managers performing certain role, and he segregated all the roles the managers were performing into three broad categories. First is interpersonal, second is informational, and third is decisional role. Interpersonal role here basically means one person to other person. So हमने सुना है ना intra and inter. Inter school competition means one school is competing with another school. Inter group communication means one group is communicating with another. So interpersonal role is interpersonal. One person is connecting with another person. So when manager is connecting with different people, then what kind of roles are there? First is figurehead. Figurehead is basically a symbolic role which falls under the category of interpersonal role. So here the manager is an official representative. So when you become a manager, you are supposed to do all this signing of documents. So if there is some legal nature work, you need to represent your organization or your particular department. Next is leader role. So when you hiring process is going on, motivating the employees is there, directing the people is there. So all these roles are performed by a leader. Third is liaison role. That means it is your responsibility to build a network to gather the information. So if manager is not the one that who will get the business and they will do the business, they also need to gather the information. They need to create a network. Next role defined by Mintzberg was informational role, right? So manager is directly not doing any task, but bringing the information, giving that information to the department or organization, and then telling the outside world that what is happening in the particular department or organization is the role performed by a manager. So informational roles consist of three different roles, which defines that first, collecting information is something that needs to be done by a manager. This role is known as monitor. So COVID-19 aa gaya, for example. So it's manager's responsibility to collect the information that how within the industry people are reacting. By reading reports, by maintaining network, he needs to gather the information or she needs to gather that information. So this is the role is monitor. Second is disseminator. So even if a manager knows that what needs to be done, information is with him, it is his responsibility or her responsibility to transfer that information to the organization by holding meetings, by sending emails, by sending memos, right? So आपके पास information है, like what is happening around the world because you have read the reports, you have maintained the network. But as a manager, it is your responsibility to transfer the information to the department, the other employees who are working under you or working with you. Last is that if something is decided within the company, then it is your responsibility, your role to transfer that information to the outside world. That means while holding the board meetings, or giving information to media. Last role is, as a manager, is decision maker, decisional roles. So gone those times when manager was supposed to be a person who is working, business is going to come and then you have to do. No, today a manager is expected to be an entrepreneur. That means is the or she is the one who will be bringing a change, who will be bringing new opportunities, new assignments, new projects. So business ko boost karna is your responsibility. Handling the disturbance. That means if some employees are on leave, some conflict is going on, then it is your responsibility to handle that disturbance. Third is negotiator. That means when some negotiation is going on with the union or the suppliers, again, it is the responsibility of the manager to negotiate. And last is resource allocator. That means scheduling the budgets, distributing the resources is again the responsibility of the manager. So I'm now starting with the case study. I will be reading the case study. And what you have to do is this case study is about Monica, who is a manager. And according to Mintzberg managerial roles, that is interpersonal, informational, and decisional, you have to define that within this case study, what all roles are performed by Monica. ठीक है, मैं फिर से रिपीट कर रही हूँ. इस केस स्टडी में एक मैनेजर की डे टू डे लाइफ के बारे में बात की गई है. You have to pick up the instances and you have to explain that how these roles coincide with the Mintzberg managerial roles, which were defined in 1960, right? So now I'm starting with the case study. Should I start with the case study? Any query from your side? Any question? Yes, who
No, ma'am.
is? Okay. So I'm reading the case study. You could also read with me. It is 7:15 a.m. in California, and Monica, a 32-year-old bank manager and mother of two, is driving drunk, caught up in her day-to-day problems. She usually arrives at the branch of Security Pacific National Bank at 8 a.m. to help plan her typical hectic day. Monica already has a three-page list of things to do that she prepared last night. The deregulation of bank has increased competition and made it much more necessary for the bank managers to be proactive in attracting new businesses. As a result, Monica's number one priority is customer service, keeping customers satisfied and attracting new customers. So she's the manager and her focus is to attract new customers. To bring in new customers, she tries to make visit each day to potential business client. Unless she finds time for such visit, she is unlikely to meet her goals of expanding branch business customer base. Side by side, you could also take the picture of the case study, right? If you want. She has already scheduled several appointments for the afternoon. One visit One visit will be to a Chinese restaurant whose proprietor is interested in taking consultancy services from SPNA Bank regarding investment and industry. Near the top of her list is a new customer campaign that has most recently been aimed at certified public accountants. She has already sent letters to local CPAs, trying to entrust them in special type of account that lets the account holder write himself or herself alone as needed. Now, as she fights the traffic moving towards the heart of Silicon Valley, Monica is thinking about the follow-up phone calls. तो वो अभी तक बैंक पहुंची नहीं है. She started driving, and meanwhile, the case study is telling what all she is planning in her mind. Monica is also thinking about personal problem. One of her assistant, Yashika, has recently promoted to a better job at a larger branch. She is happy for Yashika. The promotion has left her branch with only one assistant manager instead of usual two. The situation makes Monica much more difficult because she must absorb some of the extra workload. Hopefully, she will have a replacement soon. As Monica arrives at the office, she is quickly immersed in several activities. First, she reviews her circulation file. Now she has arrived to the office. First, she's reviewing the circulation file. Then this file contains new procedures used to initiate at the branch as well as information about the new promotions such as discount on travels, checks, and or incentives to open checking accounts that must be implemented immediately. Next, she reviews reports from previous day activity. One report shows rejected debits indicating insufficient funds. On the basis of customer account history, Monica must decide whether to cover a check or let it bounce. That would usually be handled by an assistant manager if the branch were not short-handed because of Yashika's promotion. The remaining assistant manager is busy coordinating the counting of cash deposit from the night depository. Since this is Monday, a large number of deposits were made by business owners over the weekend. As a result, Monday are especially very busy. On the other days, Monica holds staff meetings at 9 a.m., often to review bank's various products such as 7 types of checking accounts that staff members must be able to explain to customers. At 10 a.m., the branch opens and customers start coming in. During the peak time in the middle of the day, Monica becomes what she calls herself a utility player, pitching in wherever she is needed. She might review loan application, talk to customers, handle special problems such as breakdown of ATM machine. If customer lines get particularly long, she works at a teller window also. She must also sometimes deal with customer who may be upset because lines are long and or a mistake has been made. Still, as much as possible, she likes to leave the operation to the branch to the assistant manager. Otherwise, she might easily get caught up in day-to-day problems and lose sight of her main task of getting the work done or or her main task of bringing more customers to the bank. And added pressure is the fact that the teller lines close at 3 p.m. each day. All paper records of the day transaction must be ready, must be picked up by the courier at 3:30 for transfer to the regional office. Monica likes working with her staff. She always tells them that's not only a reflection of their achievement, but a reflection of my achievement as well. Conversely, she also states uh, does not if your employees does not do well, she feels like she is failing too. She explained, this year we have had to let certain people go. That's not easy, especially when you know they are good. They are trying their best, but they just weren't careful enough. So this is the first question. To what extent Monica's day coincide with managerial methods identified by Mintzberg? So I'm giving you the access of mic. You may start responding to the answers. Yes. Case study is clear to everyone? Yes? Yes or no? Anyone?
Yes,
Case study is clear? Now what you have to
Yes,
do,
ma'am.
you need to tell me whether in the roles defined, what all roles Monica was performing, was she acting as a figurehead, leader or liaison or anything like this? You have to tell me the answer. Anyone who wants to start?
Mm,
Yes?
Ma'am,
Please,
can you tell
please,
me
I
the
have given you access of mic,
I'm
but
leader.
be cautious that
ma'am,
there is no noise
ma'am,
from the background.
ma'am, what is the
I'm
meaning of
leader.
license, ma'am? Ma'am, can you tell
It
me license?
basically means when you get information, you create networks,
Okay,
right? Builds network to gather information.
okay, ma'am.
Please, I could hear some disturbance. If the disturbance is going to come, I would give you the access to mic. Okay? So be cautious. In case there is some disturbance from the background from your side, please switch off your mic. Humble request.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay.
Monica was
Yes.
playing a decisional role. She also worked as an entrepreneur for bringing the business to the bank. She is also handling the disturbance what was causing due to her personal life. And she also negotiated with some restaurant for bringing the business to that company where she was
Okay.
working. And she was also a resource allocator. So here,
Could you please repeat? Could you please repeat if you could go a little slow? You are saying that she was a resource allocator, right?
yeah,
How? What instance make you feel that she was a resource allocator?
at the time of peak time of on Monday, she was doing some cash collection. She also admitted herself in the that counter
Utility
for
player point.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Utility player points makes you feel that she was a resource allocator. What else?
And entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. She was an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. What makes you think that she was an entrepreneur?
She was bringing the business to from Chinese restaurant for that
Bringing
bank.
business from Chinese restaurant. Okay. What else?
And also she was handling disturbance due to her colleagues was left at the time. And
Handling disturbance. Let me write. What makes you feel because she was handling the situation when her assistant manager left.
yeah,
Handling disturbance. How she was handling the disturbance when Yashika left. What else? Anything
Ma'am,
else?
leader can be there. Ma'am, leader can
Ma'am,
be there.
Leader. She was a
ma'am,
Yes,
I
leader.
ma'am.
What
think,
makes you feel that she was a leader?
When there was any work other than herself, she was involved, like cash counter, ATM.
So utility player point only.
can I
Yes,
say,
ma'am.
ma'am,
That is the utility player point only.
ma'am, I can say, ma'am, she was acting also like a figurehead. Like at the end, she said that her employee's problem are also her problem. So basically, she's trying to connect with the employee.
Figurehead because
This
your
she
problem
was
is my problem, right?
Yes, yes.
That
Her success is employee success, basically.
my
So
problem
vice versa. So, yeah.
and
Yes,
success is success. Okay, that line makes you feel this.
yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
Negotiator,
How
negotiator.
negotiator?
Ma'am, she was having meeting with Chinese investors, and if there
Meeting
any
with
problem in,
Chinese
yes, ma'am.
restaurant. Yes. What else?
And another can be if some customer is angry in the bank because of some of problems, she is handling it.
So again, utility player point is there in your mind,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Please, one humble
monitor
request.
also.
One humble request. When I give you access of mic, it is your responsibility to be cautious that there is no noise from your background. Otherwise, all your recordings will be having noise. So it is your loss, right? So whosoever feels there is some background noise from their side, they may use chat box, right? Okay. So sorry for this. Yes. What else?
Ma'am, monitor.
How monitor?
Ma'am, because she was also looking at the previous day report of what's going, what went wrong, what was not going correct, and she was trying to rectify that same
Reviewing
mistake.
files,
Reviewing files basically. So basically,
right?
this comes in the monitor thing.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else
Ma'am,
anyone is able
may
to
I?
identify?
May I?
Yes.
Lesion, because she's maintaining the communication between two or three companies, which is she's working together.
Okay. You are saying she was acting as a liaison.
Yes,
Why? Because she
because
was
she's
maintaining
maintaining
the
the communication between two or three companies, which she is working together.
with 2 to 3 companies.
Yes.
Anything else?
What
No.
decision maker?
Decision maker. Where is the decision maker role? We don't have decision maker. Within decision maker, we have 4 categories. So you need to tell me the exact category you are referring to. So you need to tell me exact category. Anything else coming in your mind? Okay. So let me just share the
Spokesperson.
answer. Okay. Anything else you want to
Ma'am,
add?
ma'am,
Ma'am,
spokesperson.
How
Spokesperson.
spokesperson?
Ma'am, as
she's
she was
handle.
transmitting the info to outside local CPAs and sending letters. Uh,
Transferring information to local CPAs.
yes, through letters.
Info to local CPAs. Okay. Anything else? Okay.
He's also disturbance handler
How?
because one of his AM has been promoted and relocated, but she is
She was
taking that
handling a
charge.
disturbance. I have written
Yes.
this line. Okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me discuss the answer. Figurehead is a symbolic role where the manager is the official representative. यानी कि साइन आएगा जब भी साइन करने होंगे डॉक्यूमेंट्स में मिनट्स ऑफ मीटिंग्स में अलग अलग इंसिडेंट्स में द मैनेजर इज सपोज टू साइन इट. So manager is the face of a particular department or a particular organization, whichever he or she is representing. So as such, we could not see Monica in any of the figurehead role. ठीक है कहीं पे भी हमें figurehead role में when she was your problem is my problem, your success is my success, when she was saying this line, तो वो कहीं पे भी as a official representative खुद को show नहीं कर रही. Right? So in this case study, we don't have any role of Monica, which shows that she's acting as a figurehead directly. Leader basically means hiring, motivating, directing the employees. So when she leads her staff, she directs them, she explains them about the customers, she talks about hiring the new manager. She motivates the employee by saying that your success is my success, your failure is my failure. Basically, she is acting as a leader, right? Building network here means one-to-one network. So yes, when she is maintaining a network with local CPAs and other customers, she is fulfilling this role. So this is right. When you are saying communicating with 2-3 companies, you could put it in a more specific manner that she is interacting with local CPAs, and vaguely you could say yes, she is connecting with different people and maintaining the network. Next is her informational role. So when it means basically when reading the report and maintaining the network. So yes, we could see in her case that she is acting as a monitor when she is maintaining the network. That instance where you quote that she is maintaining the network, the monitor role is right. But reviewing file is her day-to-day activity. If I am the teacher and I'm teaching, right? If she is the manager, she is reviewing. She's not fulfilling her monitoring role. Monitor role basically means in the interest of the department or her bank branch, she is collecting the information either by reading the report or by maintaining the network, right? Disseminator, yes, she is a disseminator because she is holding a meeting, staff meeting on Mondays to inform the employees about what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. Then it talks about spokesperson, absolutely correct. She is giving the information to different customers about the bank. So she is acting as a spokesperson when she is transferring the information to local CPS. Third is decisional role. Yes, we could see in various instances that she is acting like an entrepreneur where she is trying to bring the change. How? By attracting new customers, by talking about it, by thinking about it. When we talk about handling disturbance, negotiator and resource allocator, so you have given me certain points like handling disturbance when Yashika is left. So her effort to handle the situation, you could quote that. It is correct, no issue. Negotiation point is also correct if you look from this point that she is negotiating with different suppliers or the customers and representing the bank, right? In that sense, you could write the negotiator, but in the case study directly, we could not see any instances where she is acting as a negotiator. Last is resource allocator. You have told that the utility player, this is wrong because resource allocator basically means that you are allocating the resource. So एक branch में मान लो फंड्स आती हैं तो आप उसको हैंडल कर रहे हो. प्लीज आई हैव ऑलरेडी इन्फॉर्म कल्पना नॉट डन.
भाई तेरा पेपर होगा नहीं तो क्यों नहीं होगा? मेरे पेपर में लिखा है ये सब्जेक्ट.
Neha, can you please go on mute?
It is Neha.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kalpana. Okay. So basically, directly we could not see that she is allocating the resource. बैंक के पास कुछ resources आए जिसे वो different departments में allocate कर रही है या वो budgets बना रही है. As such, directly there is no instance. Now this topic is clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, next is very, very common. That is Henry Fewell. In the classical period, he has mentioned certain roles performed by a manager. That is planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. Right? So planning basically means you have to define the goals, objectives, vision, mission for the organization. Organizing basically means you are supposed to build the structure of the organization, which includes grouping different tasks, classifying the similar nature tasks, and designing the reporting relationship. Commanding means as a manager, you are supposed to direct people, lead people. Coordination means as the manager directly, you are not doing any task, but it is your responsibility to ensure that there is no overlapping. People are not fighting. So to reduce the conflict and stimulate the employees' motivation, coordination is needed from the manager's side. And at last, as a manager, it's your responsibility to see that whatever goals, objectives you have set at the initial time frame is fulfilled at the particular time frame. So अगर आपने year की starting में कुछ plans किया था, so it is your responsibility to compare at the end whether you have achieved it or not. If you were not able to achieve it, why there is a gap and how you are going to reduce it in your future plans. So if we look into this case study, to understand whether Monica is performing this role, we could see that she is preparing 3-page list. She is planning to expand the business. So she has certain plans for the business. When we look into organizing role directly, we don't see the organizing role. But when the position of Yashika is vacant, she is looking that this position is vacant and all these roles are performed by Yashika. So they need some person. They need new assistant. So she is trying to organize also. So how this is different from staffing? We are not talking about the person she is hiring, but she is looking into the structure of the organization, right? In case of leading, she is holding the regular meetings, directing them how to deal with customers. So that is her leading role. And finally, we could not see any directly controlling role. So I'm just taking the excess of mic. I think students don't understand. Like, I really don't know. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, just an humble request. Some of my colleagues, they wanted to join. Sorry about being late on their behalf, but they are like waiting to get added. If you could please.
I have added the students, right?
They couldn't actually get access to the meeting as of yet.
Now from here onwards, please put it in the chat box. Otherwise, your recordings will be disturbed. Please understand, right? Okay. So controlling role, we could not see it directly, but we could see that she is trying to use the rules and regulations stated by the head office to meet the performance criteria. So to some extent, she is trying to fulfill that role. Next is, we talk about that this is what a manager is supposed to do. That is what a manager is supposed to do. But we also need to understand what all skill set is required to be a manager. So first is your technical skills, then is your human skills, and last is your conceptual skills. Technical skills means, like in case of Monica, knowing how a bank is working, understanding how loans are given to people, how the deposits are made. So that is the technical skill. For an auditor, an ability to read the balance sheet is the technical skill. So technical skills means employees' ability to apply specialized knowledge or expertise while performing the given task. So if I'm teaching OB, my technical skill here basically means I know the concepts of OB. So teaching skill is something different, how well I'm able to communicate that concept to you. But in the first place, knowing them is my technical skills. Human skills is the next thing that a manager needs. That means because manager is a coordinator who is dealing with people, he will be communicating with the people. So it's a skill where he is able to communicate with them, he is able to motivate people, he is able to lead people. So that is the human skill. And last is the conceptual skills, which means that in the current environment, which is very, very unpredictable, a manager needs a mental ability to deal with complex problems. So here complex problems or the needs conceptual skills. For example, in COVID time, nobody knows what is happening. So it is a skill set of a manager who knows that, yes, this is how we could deal with the pandemic, right? So that is a conceptual skills. Now, this was one of the article in the Harvard Business Review. I like this article, so I have just given you a brief about it. Today, the roles of manager is changing. Earlier, the roles were repetitive. Now, it is moving towards innovation. So there is no best time for innovation. Rather, it's an ongoing process. So a manager is expected to be more innovative. So for problem solver, he needs to turn to a challenger. So every time a problem is coming and a manager is solving, manager won't be able to become a successful manager. He needs to question the situation. He needs to be proactive. He needs to solve the given challenges that are there in the industry. From the employer, a manager needs to turn himself or herself to an entrepreneur. Employer क्या करता है? Business आएगा, they will perform, right? But entrepreneur क्या करता है? Business लाता है. So present day manager needs to think like an entrepreneur who is able to initiate a change from directive to instructive. That means a present day manager needs to explore best practices to shape the impact of AI in the industry. Last is from restrictive to expensive. That means it is important for a manager to delegate. So micromanagement could not work in present day environment. Now, this question often comes in exam also, that what are the challenges and the opportunities in organizational behavior? So today, if you are working in an organization, what kind of problems you are facing, you may face, or challenges you may face, or what are the opportunities that you could get to the business that are related to OB, that is organizational behavior. First is enabling leaders to lead in the VUCA world. VUCA basically means today the world is very volatile, बहुत जल्दी change हो रहा है, very uncertain. We don't know what is going to happen next. आज AI आ गया, कल COVID आ गया था, so many things are going on. It is very complex. ग्लोबलाइजेशन है, कनेक्टिविटी इस तरह से, वी नेवर नो कब पॉलिटिकल चीज हो गई, कब इंडस्ट्रियल रिलेटेड चीज हो गई. सो इट्स वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स एंड वेरी वेग, एम्बिग्युअस. So this creates an unprecedented challenges. We could not see the challenges. So by practicing well-being and stress management and mindfulness activities and giving training to your employees, you could deal with the current situation. Second is agility and game of teams. Agile basically means ability to move quickly, right? Today, it is not about me and my priorities. Today, we need we and our priorities. So it is very, very important that people who are working with you are working together in a one team. Agile mindset is important. They are working very quickly because environment is changing so quickly. So this is a challenge. Then what is an opportunity? Open up to the inclusive thinking. Bring workforce diversity, right? Cognitive flexibility, mind ki flexibility is very important. That enables us to think about things in new ways. Be that the new ways of working, new team members, new projects, right? Third challenge is globalization, integration of various economies, right? So today a manager needs to focus on global issue, right? They need to understand the cultural differences among employees. So you must have heard about Disney if you are aware about it. So they were not able to fit in every culture. McDonald, for that matter, when they first turned up in India, they were not aware about the kind of cultural differences which exist in India. We have vegetarians, we don't prefer beef, right? So company needs to understand the cultural differences. Managing workforce diversity is challenging. If you bring people from different race, different age, different value, gender, it becomes difficult to handle them. But there is an opportunity. This brings new innovative ideas. It helps you in solving the conflicts. Today, fifth challenge is improving customer service. So today, customer is everyone, everything. Like you must be also studying in marketing that customer is the center point. So it's a challenge, right? So by working on the attitude and behavior of employees, OB could help managers bring such culture in the organization where customer is prioritized, customer service is prioritized. Sixth is working in networked organizations. So when after lockdown, we started with virtual platforms. So in virtual platforms, we have different kind of challenges. So managing such organization needs different set of skills. Managers should be virtually able to collaborate, coordinate with employees in an this is an emerging challenge for the manager. Now, recently, you must have heard about Generation Z kind of work-life balances problem that people are facing. So long working hours is another set of problem. World is never sleeping. Everyone is waking 24 hours. Today I'm taking class 7 to 9, right? अगर आप corporate की बात करोगे तो at late evening also they are having meetings. So world is working every you know never sleeping and someone or the other is working, right? So work-life balance is another problem. So by learning the concepts of OB, by providing flexi work hours opportunity, different techniques, you could ensure that your employees are not facing this problem, right? Then creating the positive work environment. So earlier what we used to happen, we used to think that, okay, this is the problem, we will give training, we will give the new type of counseling to a person to change him or her. Today in OB, we learn about positive organization behavior, where we talk about that how we could utilize the given strength in the employees. This means if I'm good at particular thing, I'm good at communication. So giving me a role where communication is needed. So this is how by working on the strength of the employees, by creating a positive work environment, employee managers could handle the organization. Improving ethical behavior and economic pressure. So I'm just giving you a brief about it. Ethical behavior is very, very important so that all the stakeholders are with company. Stakeholders का क्या मतलब होता है? All those who are interested in your the life, all those who are interested in the company, right? Like your shareholders, your employees, your suppliers. So ethical behavior from the manager's side is today very, very important. Otherwise, like Satyam, WorldCom, Enron, your company won't be able to survive in the market. Economic pressure, so it says when economy is good, manager is in position to give monetary rewards, everything is good. But it is a stressful thing for a manager also to deal with a situation when economy is not going good. Recession period is going on. And then you have to get the work done from the people. So it's a challenge, right? Till here, any problem? I have just given you brief. Further, you could go through the lesson 1 and then you could understand. And in case you are facing any problem, you could let me know. Any question till here? Yes, any questions? Should I move to the next topic, personality?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Anyone wants to ask question till here? Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Fine, ma'am. Ma'am, is there any case study related to this topic?
I have discussed one case study today related to managerial roles. In the next class, I will be discussing another case study related to Unit 2, right? I will be
Okay,
explaining you
okay,
how we will be moving ahead to the roadmap.
okay, ma'am.
Okay. So, before I start the next topic, let me just give you a brief of the syllabus. So, with this, I have completed Unit 1 and I have completed the perception topic of Unit 2. And the recordings of today's class, this class, and the previous class is available with you, right? Today I will be starting with the next topic, that is personality, which is part of Unit 2. And there is one separate chapter in your SLM also related to personality. Again, as I have mentioned that you could refer to your SLMs, you could refer to the revision class recordings or the online class recordings. I will be giving you PPTs and handouts towards the end. And if you want to refer some other book, then you could also refer Stephen's book or T.N. Chapman. Talking about personality. So what is personality? Basically, personality is the sum total ways in which an individual reacts or interacts with others. You know, it's like a mask. So when I move outside, I wear a mask. There are some total ways of pattern of behavior that I showcase when I interact with others. And that explains my personality. Personality is something which is very, very stable set of psychological and behavioral attributes. This differentiate one person from another. What do you mean by stable? Stable basically means जैसे moods होते हैं, moods बहुत malleable होते हैं. आज कुछ mood है, कल कुछ और mood हो जाएगा. So it is going to change very fast. Then we have state-like things like confidence. So by giving certain trainings, I could build your confidence. I could change it within an organization, within a particular frame of time. But personalities are traits. They are stable because they are hereditary. They define the physical attributes. They are defined by or determined by the biological factors, environment, and different situations from which a particular child has come, right? Why we are studying this personality topic in the organization behavior class, why this is important for an organization, very important for you to understand. When you hire someone, right, and if a person, let's assume, is an extrovert, very talkative, he is very social, he likes to talk to people, and you hire this person, Mr. X, hypothetically, to a particular job where he is not supposed to speak. Will he or she will be able to survive in this job? Very difficult. Similarly, if there is an introvert person who is not social, not very talkative, and he or she has been hired to a job where one needs to be social, they need to attend the social parties, then again, it will be very, very difficult for the person to survive. So when you are making a hiring decision, better hiring decisions are made when you understand the concept of personality. Then improved team dynamics. So when you understand the different personalities that are there within a particular team, it helps you in creating a balanced team. अगर मान लो एक ही personality के लोग एक particular team में हैं, then they might end up into conflicts. So if one is extrovert, one is introvert, one is having a different kind of personality, and all those personalities are well coordinated, then your team will perform better. Obviously, effective leadership. Personality insights, the knowledge of personality is going to guide leadership development and ensure that leaders adopt a style that best motivate their teams. If you like your work, if your personality match with what you are doing, definitely employee or you will be able to perform better. So it is going to enhance your job performance. If you like your work, you are performing better. So definitely turnover will be reduced, right? And last is tailored training development, training and development. This means when you are giving a training program, मैंने आपकी training दी जिसमें I'm asking you, you all have to come here and speak. Some personalities, some people don't prefer that. So they won't be able to learn because my method of training is not something which is suitable to their personality. So understanding or insights from personality help you in building a training and development program, tailor-made training and program. In this class, we will be discussing two things. One is personality type, second is personality theory. Type basically is a label that describes a group of people who share the similar pattern of behavior. For example, introvert and extrovert. So कार्ल जंग ने बताया कि कुछ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल इस तरह के पैटर्न को शो करते हैं which is introvert and certain people show this kind of behavior which is reflected as extrovert. So describing what kind of personality someone is having is a personality type. But when we talk about personality theory, we try to explain and or predict different traits of personality. That is, that our focus is not on classifying the people, but to explain that how their personality is formed and why people behave in certain way or in a particular way. So here we will be talking about Freud's psychoanalytic theory, social cognitive theory, humanistic theory. Personality type, I am talking about MBTI. Now, MBTI is an instrument. Instrument basically refers to a questionnaire, which was developed by Catherine and Isabel Briggs-Meyer, daughter and mother duo. So this is based on the Swiss psychiatrist work C.G. Jung, who presented his psychological type theory in his book entitled Psychological Types, published in 1921 and translated into English in 1923. So in this particular instrument, MBTI, they basically defined 4 parameters, right? First was introvert and extrovert. Most of us will be knowing what does this mean. The focus of introvert and extrovert is towards energy. इसका क्या मतलब है? How you get your energy. So if when you talk to people, you feel energetic, that means you are an extrovert. When appearing in the social parties and all, you get tired, that means you are an introvert. When you sit alone, you think, then you are able to get more energy, that means you are an introvert. So extrovert is a person who is more energetic, he displays lots of emotion, and introvert is a person who remains restrained, calm, reserved, and mostly use word I compared to we. Next is sensing and intuition. That means how your mind collects the information, right? Sensing basically emphasizes on the facts, and intuitive people focus on the whole thing. Could you see the picture? So sensing people, जिन लोगों की personality sensing के towards होती है, it is related to this component. They take in and represent information in the sequence step by step. पर जिनका mind intuition की तरह सोचता है, they look at the complete picture in one way, and then their mind starts building and forming the information, right? Next is thinking and feeling. That means how you make decisions. So those who think, right? Thinking are the people, for example, I have given you this example here that you are moving to some party with your partner or friend and you don't like what they are wearing, right? So just thinking wale people hote hain, they don't think about what the other person may be feeling. So they make decisions by stepping back from the situation, giving it an objective look, whether they like the dress or not, and then they will say, no, 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 go and change. वो feelings के बारे में नहीं सोचते. And feelings are the personality. Feeling is a personality trait where the people think, they step in, they think that if someone else would have told that my dress is not good, then how I would have felt. And according to this thought process, they give the decision. So they have an empathetic view. Last is judging and perceiving. That is how you orient yourself towards the world. So judges are the people who plan everything till the nth degree. And the perceivers are the people who are open. They go with flow. So जिसका judger वाली personality होती है वो सब कुछ plan करके चलते हैं and they want everything should be as per plan. They are not very open to contingency. And perceivers are open to contingency because they leave the situation and they go with flow, right? Using these four parameters, making the permutation and combination, there could be 16 types of personality as reflected on the board. So how these 16 personality is formed? I could be an introvert, I, intuition, N, thinking, T, and perceiving, P. So INTP. So INTP is one category of personality. Could you see in the picture? INTP. This is one personality. And ENFP means extrovert, intuition, feeling, and perceiver. Right? I'm just showing one video to you. I'm just giving you mic access so that you could tell me if voice is clear or not. That video will make things more clear. Give me 1 minute.
Before moving to ahead, I just one question I have posted in chat as well.
Yes.
So can you please let me know what's the difference between stakeholder, clients, and vendors? Because sometimes it happens that we are in company. So to the clients, we already say that they are the stakeholders. So why and
stakeholders basically means, I will keep it brief because this is not directly related to our topics. Stakeholder basically are the people who are interested in the existence of the particular company. ठीक है? अगर एक company run हो रही है तो government भी stakeholder है ना, they won't get tax if the company won't be there. उसके employees भी stakeholders है because they won't get salary. उसके suppliers भी stakeholder है because they won't get the business. उसके shareholders भी stakeholders है. Why? क्योंकि they have invested in the company. Shareholders basically are the owners of the company who have the share within the company. Next, you have asked about the vendors, right?
Yeah.
So vendors are the basically manufacturers, suppliers, only the supplier category. So a vendor could be a stakeholder, but all the stakeholder might not be a vendor. Clear?
Okay. But sometimes like why the people that says that clients to the vendor, like clients to the stakeholder.
Stakeholder is everyone who is interested in the existence of the company. Are you getting my point? वो stakeholder तो है ही ना. आपकी कल को मान लो आपने किसी को उधार में पैसे दे दिए for example, and कल को company is not working for some reason, so they have their stake in the company. They are the stakeholders. Employee is also a stakeholder. Government is also a stakeholder. Shareholder is also a stakeholder. So I could define employee की मैं एक definition दे सकती हूँ. Employee is one definition. Government and employee are not same, but both are stakeholders. So stakeholder is everyone who is interested or having the stake in the company. Vendor is a particular category within it. Who is the supplier, right? So I'm going back to the personality topic.
Okay. Thank you.
And how employees
Video is available. Could you see the video?
Not yet,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
Not.
ma'am.
Okay. Let me just see. Let me just share. Now could you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
इस वीडियो में बहुत डिटेल में MBTI की पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट को डिफाइन किया गया है. So when they will be defining each component, they will be giving you time to think which component is similar to your personality. So you need to just note it down so that you have by the end an understanding which personality you belong to, right? So I'm starting with the recording, right? Voice is clear? Voice is clear of the video?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Ma'am, play it once, ma'am.
So many students have asked me that, ma'am, I have good friend circle, right? So there are times when I connect with people, so I feel I'm an extrovert, but there are times when I don't like getting social, so I feel I'm introvert. So I'm somewhere in middle. So many students have asked me this. To answer this, that as per MBTI, extrovert is a person who get energy after interacting with people. An introvert is a personality which gets his or her energy when they are spending time with themselves. So अगर मैं एक एक person से बात करती हूँ, right? I have too many friends, but I always prefer to talk to one person at a time or maybe two person at a time. I get more energy when I'm thinking in my own thoughts. Then I'm an introvert. So having 30 friends outside doesn't makes me an extrovert, right? So there will be certain questions which will be reflected on the screen. And if the answer is yes, then you belong to a particular category. So if you say yes to the following statements which will come after this, that means you are an introvert. One minute. Voice is not coming. Some students are writing. 1 minute. Let me just give you access to mic. Okay. So some students are writing that voice is not coming.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No
No
voice,
voice.
ma'am.
Ma'am,
It's
yes,
not
ma'am.
audible.
आ रही है मैडम आवाज
No voice is
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
No
Yes,
voice,
ma'am.
ma'am.
आवाज नहीं आ रही मैम आपकी आ रही है
मैम
नो वॉइस मैम
Ma'am,
मैम
please
वॉइस
share it
नहीं आ रही
including the
इसमें।
audio.
एक minute. Let
Ma'am,
me
wait.
just look into audio.
वीडियो की आवाज नहीं आ रही मैम
Second. एक second. Just give me 1 second. If it is not working, then I will tell you what is there in the video, right?
Ma'am, you can reshare
Okay.
it including that, including audio. When you share it, na, it will show up the one option. She is sharing the screen.
Okay, I got it.
Yep.
What you're trying to say. You are saying that when I'm sharing the screen,
Yeah, there is one
it
pop-up
will
will come up, including computer sound. So you can just put it over there.
it is not coming. It is a good video. Let me just try again. If it is not going to work, then I will proceed, right? So you are saying I have to
We
share
can
the
read.
window.
No, yeah, just click on share, मैम, और वहां पर
Okay.
ऊपर ना आपको एक पॉपअप शो होगा इंक्लूड कंप्यूटर साउंड शेयर के जस्ट ऊपर जहां पर आप स्क्रीन शेयर करते हो स्क्रीन शेयर से ऊपर
Settings. 3 dots
नहीं
क्या
जैसे आप
बने हुए?
स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहे हो ना स्क्रीन शेयर के ऊपर ही जैसे आप विंडो पे क्लिक करते हो या
Okay,
फिर आप
include
पर्टिकुलर
sound. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
No issue.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now
The
it is,
concept of something
now
rather
it is audible.
Yes,
than
Yes,
the
ma'am. Yes,
actual
Yes,
item.
ma'am. Audible?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
मैं
Yes.
थोड़ा सा पीछे कर रही हूँ, थोड़ा सा पीछे कर रही हूँ, not a complete video. So basically in this, I'm starting from here. ठीक है? So extroverts are those who get their energy from the external after getting in touch with people, right? And introvert are the people who get more energy when they are with themselves. So उनके one friends हो सकते हैं बहुत सारे, but then they don't get energy when they are with too much of crowd, right? So हर एक particular component को पहले वीडियो में समझाया जाएगा. Then there will be certain set of questions. So if you are an introvert, then following questions should be correct. So if you feel that this is something that you belong to, that will make you an introvert. Like, so this is how we need to read the video, right?
Individuals and objects. The inner I world of thoughts, interests, ideas, and imagination is the focus of the other, which is turned inward. The majority of people have an inbuilt predisposition for energy from either the outer or the inner world, despite the fact that these two aspects of our nature are distinct yet complementary. As a result, one of their faces, either the extroverted E or introverted I, takes the initiative in shaping their personalities and controlling their conduct. So, do you get your energy from yourself with your own activities and thoughts, introvert, or from interaction with the world around you, extrovert? If you have chosen introvert, these statements should apply to you. I enjoy dealing with the thoughts, images, memories, and feelings that exist in my inner world because it gives me energy. Most of the time, I like to work alone or with just one or two other people. I pause to think so that when I decide to act, I will know exactly what I'll be doing. For me, ideas are almost solid objects. Sometimes I prefer the concept of something rather than the actual item. If you have chosen extrovert, these statements should apply to you. I enjoy participating actively in events and engaging in a variety of activities to keep myself energized. When I'm with people, I get thrilled. I enjoy energizing others. I enjoy taking initiative and bringing about change. In general, I feel comfortable everywhere. When I can discuss a subject aloud and hear what other people have to say, I frequently have a better understanding of it. Number 2, intuitive or sensing. The intuitive N side of our brain tries to make sense of all the information that is gathered, interprets it, and creates overall patterns from it. It considers possibilities, including speculating about and predicting the future. It is conceptual and imaginative. The sensing S side of our brain takes in all the sensory elements of the present, including the sights, sounds, and odors. It classifies, arranges, documents, and stores the specifics of the present. It is grounded on reality and deals with what is. Additionally, it offers particular information on memories and recollections on previous events. All humans need and employ both types of perception, but we all have a natural tendency to choose one over the other. So, does your info preferably come from explanation, reasoning, more abstract understanding, intuition, or from observing, measuring, experience, sensing?
So basically, if you are saying
हाँ
that
जी
you
बोल
belong to intuition, it basically means कि you try to uh, get certain information and then you start explaining it. You start giving reasons. You start adding the abstract understanding about the information that you have taken. If you say that you belong to sensing category, it means that you observe, you experience, and whatever you have seen or whatever you have experienced, that is the only information that is with you, and that information you are reflecting in the organization, right? Okay.
If you have chosen intuitive N, these statements should apply to you. I focus mostly on first impressions, as well as the significance and patterns of the information I get. Instead of getting my hands dirty, I would much rather learn by carefully considering a subject. I'm curious about new things and what might be, so I consider the future more than the past. Even though I have no idea how I will employ symbols or abstract theories, I enjoy working with them. In comparison to the real facts or specifics of what happened, I remember events more as an impression of how it felt. If you have chosen sensing S, these statements should apply to you. I focus mostly on the senses of sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. What is actual, present, current, and real are the things that worry me. I take note of information and retain specifics that are significant to me. I prefer to see things put to use practically, and I learn best when I can put what I'm learning to use. Experience convinces me more than words ever could. Number 3, thinking or feeling. The thinking, T side of our brain conducts a detached, objective analysis of data. It makes methodical deductions from factual premises and draws conclusions. That's just how reasonable we are, based on likes and dislikes, effects on others, and considerations of human and aesthetic values. The feeling, F side of our minds, makes judgments that are attached and relatively global. We are by nature subjective. Even while everyone employs both methods to come to their findings, each person has a natural predisposition toward one over the other. So when they give us opposing advice, one side always has the upper hand or acts as a tiebreaker. So how do you decide? By way of ratio, logic, given decision criteria, thinking, or by looking at context, interests, what feels right? Feeling.
So basically, there is no good or bad component. Thinking people basically work on logic, ratio. So they have a decision criteria in their mind that this is the right way of doing it. So what is right, what is the logic says, what is right way of doing, the same thing they communicate in the same manner to the other person. Feeling are the people who focus more on the context. They they think about the empathetic part, right? So what others are feeling, what feels right. So even logically something is correct, but if doesn't feels right, the people who are belong to feeling category, they won't say it, right?
If you have chosen thinking, T, these statements should apply to you. Regardless of the particular circumstances involved, I prefer to uncover the fundamental truth or principle that may be utilized when making decisions. I enjoy weighing the pros and cons before making a decision in order to be consistent and rational. I make an effort to maintain my impersonality so that neither my own nor others' desires can sway me. I enjoy technical and scientific fields where logic is important. I can be seen as too task-oriented, uncaring, or indifferent. If you have chosen feeling F, these statements should apply to you. By evaluating what individuals care about and the perspectives of everyone engaged in a situation, I think I can make the greatest decisions. Values and what is best for the parties involved are important to me. I enjoy taking actions that promote or uphold harmony. If you are enjoying our tasks, it addresses the outside world with a plan. A prospecting P style is adopting and adapting, flexible, open-ended, and responsive to new opportunities and shifting game plans.
Prospecting and perceiving is same.
It takes the outer world as it comes. To store information, organize our ideas, make decisions, take actions, and govern our lives, all humans use both judging, thinking and feeling, and perceiving, sensing, and intuition processes. But when it comes to how we interact with the outside world, one of these processes, either judging or prospecting, tends to dominate, while the other controls our inner selves. So, how do we approach situations? Should things go as planned and wanted, judging? Or are you flexible, open to change, and go with the flow, prospecting?
So basically, judging are the people who plan everything in their mind and they go as per the plan. Prospecting or the perceiving are the people who are flexible, they are open to change. Okay, so I'm just making this video a little forward.
My preference, whether it is thinking or feeling. Others may perceive that I like a planned or orderly lifestyle, value stability and organization, find decision making more comfortable, and strive to keep life as under control as possible. I plan to work to avoid rushing just before deadline. Sometimes I focus so much on the goal that I miss new information. If you have chosen prospecting, P, these statements should apply to you. In my external life, I make use of my perceiving function, whether it be sensing or intuition. Others may perceive that I favor a flexible and impulsive lifestyle and that I like to comprehend and adjust to the world rather than organize it. Others regard me as being receptive to fresh insights and knowledge. I like to stay open to respond to whatever happens. Sometimes I stay open to new information so long as I miss making decisions when they are needed. Congratulations! If you successfully have answered each question, you know your personality. Now it's time to dive deeper into your personality type. Learn what are your traits.
So, like this, there are 16 types of personality. Now, this topic is clear to everyone. Should we move to the next topic? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
So, basically, if you know your personality, we won't be going into detail because we have certain time constraints. So, each personality is related to certain professions, right? If someone belongs to ESTJ, then managerial position is very, very much suitable to them. So, I'm not saying that those who don't belong to this personality is not having any managerial quality. Basically, in there are different domains. So there are different industry. Within the industry, there are different kind of departments. There are different kind of roles. So each personality type is more suitable for certain industries and certain tools. So you could dig into it more to have an understanding that your personality is related to which particular profession. Okay. The second type of personality is type A and type B personality, which is given by Friedman and Grossman. So there is a short video, but I won't be showing that video. I will be just explaining it to you. Later, I could share the link. Type A personality people are the people who are very, very competitive. They are deadline oriented. They want outcome. Time is urgent. They are never going to miss the deadlines. And sometimes to other people, they look like more irritable, right? And type B is the personality which have laid back attitude, very flexible. They enjoy the process. They are not into whatever will be the outcome. There is no time urgency in their mind. They're time relaxed. आज काम नहीं हुआ कोई बात नहीं कल कर लेंगे. No issue. So they are the people with a very calm personality, right? So when you give it a look at type A and type B personality, what feeling you have in an organization? Which personality you are going to prefer? Anyone?
Basically, type A.
Type A. But you will be surprised to know that both personalities has their own pros and cons,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Friedman and Grossman are cardiologists. So they are not the psychologists, people from psychology or OB background. They are basically from the medical field. So they have shown through reports and their research that type A personality are more prone to heart attack. compared to type B personality. Because for type A personality, time is so urgent, deadline is so important that, they are always under stress. This leads to more heart attacks. But type B personality के साथ क्या होता है? Vice versa. They remain relaxed. They enjoy the process. They are never under stress. They remain calm. So the chances of heart attack is less. From an organization point of view, type B personality is important. If you have targets in the mind, it is important to focus on outcomes. It is important to meet the deadlines. But if you're looking for creativity and innovation, then it is difficult for the type A people to come up with innovative ideas. Type B people are more good at it because they enjoy the process. So जितने भी आपके आर्टिस्ट होते हैं, डांसर्स होते हैं, जो क्रिएटिविटी आती है जिस ग्रुप से, they belong to type B personality. Now, which personality you feel? Anyone?
Rima, I have a question in this. Does
Always
it
be.
not change with time or age? Like
Both
when we are
personalities are
younger,
important.
we are more enthusiastic.
Yes.
And
Are you able to relate with this? Please, अगर
Yes, ma'am.
disturbance
Yes,
आएगी
ma'am.
नहीं. Okay. So basically,
Yes,
type
we
B
can relate.
personality, you could put it in the chat box now. Type B personality are the people who are relaxed, who are calm. So they are in a better position to bring innovation and creativity on the table. Type B personality people are the people who are deadline oriented, time urgent. So when you have time bound projects, then type A is going to perform better. So an organization needs both type of personalities, type A as well as type B. If everyone belongs to type B, no work will be done on time. If everyone belongs to type A, then creativity and innovation will be compensated. Next, we have a theory of big five personality factors. This is given by Robert and Paul. So earlier it was established by Fiske, later various researchers came, and the theory was lastly popularized by Robert and Paul. They explains five components represented with the acronym of OCEAN. OCEAN refers to openness of experience, conciseness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. So basically, extroversion is a trait which is that an individual is social, outgoing, talkative, and assertive. Conciseness is a trait which says that a person is hardworking, organized, self-disciplined, persistent, and responsible. Emotional stability is a trait which says that a person remains calm, secure, happy, and unworried. Agreeable is a trait where the person is more trustworthy because they agree, they are more cooperative, they are more caring, they are more warm. Openness to experiences are the people who are more curious, creative, and flexible. So basically, big five trait is not like that you are an extrovert or an introvert, rather, it's a continuum. So you could score low at extrovert, you could score high at extrovert. So if you're scoring low, that means you are passive, you are reserved, you prefer to remain loner. If you score high, that means you are very talkative, active, and joiner. So you don't want to be loner, you want to be with people. Similarly, agreeableness, if you score low at this particular component, that means you are critical. Kuch bhi bola, you will be like, no, why? I don't agree. And if you score high, that means you are trusting, you are soft-hearted, you are lenient, you go with flow, right? Conciseness, if you score low, that means you are lazy, disorganized. If you score high, that means you are well organized, punctual, and hardworking. Similarly, neuroticism, if you are score low, that means you are comfortable, unemotional, even tempered. If you score high, that means you are self-conscious, very emotional. Likewise, for openness to experience, if you score low, that means you are down to earth, you are uncreative, you're okay the way the work things are doing, you have no curiosity to learn more. But if you score high, that means you are very creative, original, you use your imagination, you are very curious to explore things around you. So with this, we are done with one category. Now, within the personality theories, there is trait theory. Trait theory is well explained in Big Five traits. इसे हम theory क्यों कहते हैं? Because it is explaining a continuum. It is not categorizing the people as an extrovert or an introvert. Rather, it is telling that people score from low to high. So trait theory, I have already explained you, it attempts to learn what traits make up a personality and how they relate to actual behavior. As mentioned before, personality theory basically talks about the system of concept, assumption, ideas, and principle that explains a personality, right? Next theory is psychodynamic theory given by Freud. This focus on your inner working of personality, that what kind of struggles are there in our mind that makes our personality. So this is how Sigmund Freud has defined. He talks about conscious, unconscious mind, right? Your conscious, unconscious, and pre-conscious are the three mind within you, right? So within your unconscious mind, there is an ID. ID basically means that what instant pleasure you look for around you, like bhook lag rahi hai, hunger, right? Or you want to have cake, you want to have something sweet. So this is something that is the immediate instant pleasure that your mind says that yes, I want, which comes from your unconscious mind, right? Ego basically means that what exactly you do to balance this desire, to fulfill this desire, right? And superego is your moral consciousness, which is within your unconscious and conscious mind. Okay? So, for example, if I'm hungry, right, this is something coming from my unconscious mind. My conscious mind and pre-conscious mind is going to say that the superego is going to say that morally it's not correct to steal. And what exactly I'm doing to fulfill this pleasure defines my ego. So if I want to have a cake, that is my instant pleasure, that I want to have something sweet, this will come from my unconscious mind, that is ID. If my mind says that please don't have it because you are on diet, this is my moral consciousness that ideally I should not take this piece of cake. I should not take something sweet. And ego is something that balances my desire and reality, right? So I could have a small piece. So when I'm taking this decision, so this is defined in ego. So ID wants immediate gratification, and the superego imposes moral consciousness or discipline, whereas ego mediates between the two. So this is how your mind thinks, and this is how what makes your personality. Because already I have told you that what is personality? Initial definition kya thi? This is personality. If I go back to the initial definition for more clarity, give me 1 minute. So personality basically means a sum total ways in which you react or interact with others. So your conscious and unconscious minds are making certain decisions. So whatever is happening in your conscious and unconscious mind, there are different ways in which you are interacting with others that defines your personality, right? So this is how it is connecting it to dots. So it says that your ego is always caught in the middle battle between the moral consciousness, that is the moral behavior, and the immediate gratification or the desires that are coming from your unconscious mind ID. So आपके unconscious mind से कुछ immediate gratifications वाली desires आती हैं, and आपके super ego, conscious and pre-conscious mind से there is a moral behavior that is directed that this is what you are supposed to do, this is what you are not supposed to do. And ego always remains somewhere in middle. So unconscious hold some repressed memories and emotion, and the ID are the instincts derived. Conscious is everything you are aware at a particular moment. I won't go into detail. You could read it from your SLM further. Now, next things come that how personality is formed. Personality in first place developed कैसे होती है? So there are again two types of ways are given. One is one group of stages is given by Erickson, who has defined personality focused on social factor. So Erickson says that from an infant stage to older adult, right? A person moves from basic trust to ego integrity. So you could see in the diagram. So it says that when you are a small kid, there is a basic trust, right? When you get older, that turns out to be ego integrity. So, how socially we are interacting with others since our childhood, this is going to help us in understanding how the personality is developed. Whereas Sigmund Freud defined these stages of personality by focusing on biological factor. So when you are a child and you grow, there are certain biological changes that comes in both male and female. So when they enter into different stages, different biological stages, their personality is developed. So you could go through your SLM for detailed understanding that how these social factors and biological factors are defined by Erikson and Sigmund Freud to define that how personality is developed in a particular individual, right? So I'm coming to the next topic because this was a brief background from the psychology. So I'm coming back to the OB perspective when we talk about organization, that how in an organization we could check that what is the personality of a person, right? One way is self-reported questionnaire, like we have already done Myers and Briggs type indicator, MBTI. So similarly, we have Big Five inventory, which are the different questionnaire tools which an individual could fill and an expert could tell that what particular personality a person is holding. Second is that experts could observe the behavior. By observing the behavior, trainers could see that what is the personality of a particular person. Next, we have projective test where certain ink spots are shown. Ink blot test we bolte hain हमसे. So certain images made by random ink impressions are there and the person is asked to tell what they could see in the screen. So एक screen में कुछ ink की images बन जाती हैं random and you ask the employee to tell what you could see on the screen. So based on the responses, experts or the psychologists will be able to tell what is the personality of a person. Next, workplace simulation, role-playing scenarios, behavioral assessments is one way to see that how a person is performing and what is the personality of a person. Last is structured, unstructured interviews. So obviously, when your different people around you will be giving the feedback, or the expert or the HR department will be holding the structured, unstructured interviews, then through those interviews, you could come to know the personality of a person. Before I move to the dark traits, I will be giving the access to you so that you could ask me question if there is any question. Please make sure that there is no noise coming from your side, right? Any question from anyone? Yes, please. I don't know what happens to your mic. Yes, any question? Should I move to dark traits? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me 1 minute. So I'm just taking the access of mic so there is no disturbance, right? Dark traits. So till here, We have learned about different types of personality, type A, type B, then sensing, feeling, thinking, extrovert, introvert, concitousness, different traits we have learned till here. Other than these traits, we could also see some dark traits, right, that do exist within the people who are working with you in the organization. Machiavellism is one trait, then narcissism, and then psychopathy. Machiavellism basically means it is a degree to which an individual is pragmatic, practical. He maintains an emotional distance and he believes that ends can justify means, which basically means Machiavellism are the people who engage in manipulative behavior. So they are very, very strategic thinkers. They exploit the others for the personal gain, right? So key features are they are very high at self-control. They go with long-term planning. Manipulation is something which is a very particular feature about them, and they carry a calculative charm. Talking about their behavioral science, they are skilled in impression management. They play political games at workplace, very less emotionally involved, and they are more focused on outcome, right? So, strategical thinking is a good part. इसमें कोई harm नहीं है. But when you add manipulation to it, then it becomes a dark trait. So if someone in the organization is deliberately building the alliances, spreading the misinformation, using others to climb the corporate ladder by manipulating the information, then this is a dark trait, right? So building alliances is okay. कोई issue नहीं है. It's a strategic thinking, building alliances, even impression management are the good signs. इसमें कुछ भी bad नहीं है, कुछ भी dark नहीं है. But when the manipulation is done, the focus, I'm focusing on the word term manipulation. When the manipulation is done, misinformation is spreaded to get the personal gain, then it becomes a dark trait. Second is a narcissist. Narcissist is a tendency of a person to be arrogant. So these people are too much into self-importance, self-admiration, right? So basically, excessive self-focus or need of admiration are the people or the traits seen in people who are towards narcissism, right? So they have an inflated sense of self-importance. They have a desire to get the recognition and praise. Very, very sensitive to criticism. हमेशा उनको तारीफ चाहिए. So if they want recognition, they want praise, they want self-importance. If there will be a little criticism, they are very sensitive to it. They could look very charming at first, but over the period of time, you will realize that this is not going good, right? What are the behavioral signs? They keep on bragging about themselves and their achievements. They try to get more special treatment from others, right? So they use their relationship to boost their self-image. So if a leader is constantly taking the credit of the team success, right, and becomes upset if he is not publicly praised, then it is showing a sign of it is going towards narcissism. So there is no harm that you are taking the credit, but आप किसी और का credit भी ले रहे हो. Self importance is so important. You are very, very sensitive to criticism. Then the signs are towards narcissism. Last is psychopathy. Psychopaths are the people who have lack of concern for others, lack of guilt. If they're doing something wrong, harming people, they don't have any guilt about it. So very, very they possess lack of empathy. Features are low empathy, aggressive, antisocial. So recklessly they make the decision, they break the rules, remain unethical. They don't care about the consequences. So if a person is scamming the clients without any guilt, spending the profit on the risky ventures, so all these signs are moving towards the psycho. Previously, I'm pretty sure you must have heard these terms, narcissism, psychopathy, Machiavellism, when, uh, you know, maybe in movie, right? जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा, explicitly show किया जाता है. But I'm just trying to connect it with the organization So in an organization, if someone depicts manipulative behavior, secretive behavior, the behavior or the personality is towards Machiavellism. If someone shows too much importance to himself, bragging about himself always, and he needs too much of self-importance, then it is towards narcissism. Or the last one, if someone is reckless, there is no empathy, he or she is doing wrong without thinking about what is going to happen, then it is moving towards the psychopathy. Okay. So before starting with this small topic, this is a small topic and it is the last topic that I will be discussing in this class. And I felt that I should discuss it here only. In here, in last class and this class, I have covered some individual related components like perception, personality. They're very, very specific to individual. So, what is attitude? Again, attitude is also very, very specific to an individual. Anyone who could tell me about what is attitude? I'm giving you the access of mic. If you could participate, it will be helpful. Yes.
Ma'am, attitude is basically a type of personality behavior individual exhibit, like a individual behave in a certain way. So that's kind of an attitude, and which is perceived by others. Like that's what an attitude is.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to add?
It's a habit of your actions in
Okay.
day-to-day life.
Habit
It
of your
could
action.
also both positive and negative.
It could be both positive and negative. Yes, right. Absolutely correct. Anything else you want to add?
Attitude is a confidence, you can say.
It is a confidence or a mental state Rishabh is writing on the chat box. So why I have taken
What
this topic here in brief? Yes. Anyone wants to add?
Ma'am, it's a
what we
way
see
to
and how
judge
we respond,
other people.
How we respond. Yes.
what
So
we are
why I
Exhibition
have
of
seeing and
approach.
how we are responding is basically an attitude.
we could say that
Which can
also.
be difficult.
Okay, so just to give you a little hint, please 1 minute, then I will start with this topic. If you look into your syllabus, in unit 2, we have covered individual behavior. ठीक है, हम सिर्फ एक individual behavior की बात कर रहे हैं. Here we are talking about conscious mind also, unconscious mind also, personality also, perception also, attitudes also, values also, emotions also. And sometimes, as a layman, we use these terms interchangeably. किसी की personality को हम attitude की terms में भी बोल देते हैं, किसी की attitude को personality. We don't understand that how exactly these terms are different. So here I will be just, I have very briefly taken up this topic of attitude, value, and emotion. One terminology explanation, so that in your mind the picture is clear that how all of them is different, right? So that is my idea why I asked you that what you feel about it. So basically, personality includes traits. Traits क्या है मेरे mind में fix है. Because of my upbringing, because of the hereditary biological component, there are certain traits that are there in my mind, right? That is there within me. So when I enter into an organization, it is very, very difficult to change those traits within me. So at a significant time, in shorter time, या maybe within an organization के पास जितना time होता है, within that period you could not change the personality trait of an individual. And it is the sum total of a pattern of a behavior that a person is reflecting uh, when they are interacting with the people around them. Whereas perception is a way you are looking at the environment around you. So perception कहता है that reality is different for different people. If some lady is going just crossing the road, right, with a kid, someone could think she is a nanny, someone could think she is the mother, someone could think that she's a sister. So everyone could perceive the same thing differently. सो परसेप्शन क्या है कि आपका माइंड किस तरह से ऑब्जेक्ट्स को पिक करता है प्रेजेंट डे एनवायरनमेंट में से, किस तरह से उसे ऑर्गेनाइज करता है, कैसे उसका मीनिंग बनाता है एंड कैसे उस इंफॉर्मेशन को यूज करके अपने बिहेवियर और एक्शंस में लेकर आता है. दैट इज परसेप्शन. Value basically means it is a yardstick on which you define right and wrong. So when you look into white dress, so Indian wedding mein white dress is not auspicious, right? But in West, it is auspicious. They do have white as a color. So unka value system कहता है that you go white, that means there are no colors and your life, new life is start, new start is there. And here white reflects something else altogether. So value is a yardstick on which we people have defined right and wrong, right? Emotion is something that is like you are sad, sometimes you are happy. In detail, I will be discussing this emotion topic in the towards the last unit where I will be talking about stress management. There I will be talking about emotions, emotional intelligence and stress. So I won't be getting into detail here. Now, what is attitude? So attitude is how a person is evaluating something. पर्सनालिटी तो बायोलॉजिकल हेरिडिटरी हो गया, आपने अपनी सिचुएशन एनवायरनमेंट से पिक किया और उस जो आपने पिक किया, जो ट्रेट्स आपके थे, उनके सम टोटल वे में किस तरह से आप रिप्रेजेंट करते हो व्हेन यू इंटरेक्ट विद पीपल. एटीट्यूड रेफर करता है हाउ पर्सन इज इवैल्यूएटिंग समथिंग, वेदर इट्स अ पर्सन, इट्स अ ऑब्जेक्ट, इवेंट और आइडिया. So basically, attitude is the way an individual respond to various aspects of environment shaped by experiences, emotions, and beliefs. Yes, attitude could be positive, negative, neutral, or and it could influence the behavior. So attitude कैसे बनता है? It starts with a cognitive component in your mind. Cognitive component means some knowledge that is there in my mind, right? That knowledge brings an emotion in my mind, that is affective component. And based on that emotion, the same thing is further reflected in my actions, that is behavior component. For example, I know that dogs could bite. ठीक है, मेरे पास ये नॉलेज है कि डॉग्स क्या करती है, बाइट कर लेते हैं. इससे मेरे माइंड के अंदर एक इफेक्टिव कंपोनेंट जनरेट होगा जिसमें इमोशन किसका आएगा, fear का, डर का. So I will have an emotion of fear. And how it is going to be reflected in my action? So the moment I will see the dog, I will start running. Right? So जो मैंने dog को देखने के बाद भागना शुरू किया, ये emotion कैसे generate हुआ? Because of the cognitive, in my cognitive mind, there was a component which says that dogs are going to hurt you. Similarly, it could be vice versa. For the people who love dogs, the information in their mind is that dogs are the people, they are your friends, they are very honest to you, they are very good. So उनके mind में क्या affective component में आता है? What kind of emotion is there? Love. Right? So the emotion in their mind is love. So the moment they see the dog, they rush towards the dog, they hug them. Right? Similarly, if you have cognitive mind, there is a component, knowledge, which says that exercise is good for the health. Then you will feel happy when you will be doing exercise. And if you feel happy, you will be regularly doing. So it is going to change your action. अब इसे OB में क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं हम? We are studying this in OB because if as a manager, you could look into your employees' cognitive component, that means the knowledge that is there in their mind, the effective component, the kind of emotions that or the feelings that they are having, then you could also, this could also impact their behavior or the action, right? So I won't be going and digging more on this because otherwise it will become confusing. You could, with this knowledge, you could go through the SLM. You could read more about attitude, you could read more about perception and personality from there. If there is any doubt or the query, you may ask me. And in the next class, I will be talking about the next topic. Any question till here from your side? Yes? Anyone, any question? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm sorry to
just
go